try this again. And yeah, it's the, I got the heater on. It's doing something. I'm waiting for a gush of water to come out onto the floorboard. It's not running very well. I think the carburetor's definitely done for. I was amazed to see that the heater is working somewhat. So we're going to try this again one more time.
Just one more time.
A lot colder today than the last day. I tried filming and forgot to make sure the camera was filming.
Go!
So we'll try this. I can't believe the heater works. That blows my mind. I got temperature. Alternator never usually works. Fuel gauge appears to be working. So, of course, the tach's working. Emergency brake's working. Regular brakes are working. Blows my mind. my video this time. Yeah. Gas gauge is working. Temp gauge is working. It got up the middle and it stayed right there. This thing's putting out heat. Fan's working. I mean, I can't believe that. This thing's been sitting for years. Wow. Not half bad. You go to fire it. Ooh. Sometimes you have to rock the key back. The charging system should be working. At least it was last time I checked. But yeah, last time I went to start it, I had to... There is a dead spot in the key there. And it isn't real positive, so obviously there needs to be some work done there. I will see if new switches are available or find the best fuse one I can get my hands on. I'm curious now. I'm going to see if it's charging. Now we got it. Tried to massage the old voltage regulator a little bit. Hey, found temperature gun. $190, that's what they about usually run. The thermostat's actually located way down there. 110 going in. Yeah, it's working just peachy. Yep, working like a champ. Working like a champ. Yeah, I think it's like a 190 or 195 thermostat in these V6s. Like I said, they're located way down there. Trying to see it. Where my little red dot is. That's where the thermostat's located out of these little V6s. And it shows it. Job. There we have it. Okay, so I might as well touch on what was going on with this thing to begin with. It got parked because, well, it was running when it got parked, and then a few years back, my dad and one of my son who gave the car to start working on it, and they had a fuel delivery problem, so it got moved to the spot it's at right now. And he proceeded to test things, and they had the rear end of the car up. The gas tank was all rusted out, so that was obviously problem number one. And then problem number two, before he passed away, he indicated to me that the fuel line was rotten or leaking, which is kind of weird because we don't really have that big of a problem of that here with cars that haven't been on the road for a long time. I mean, if we had a 70s car that had been driven up to this point, then okay, it's susceptible, but this car has been parked, this car here has been parked for a long time. Yeah, they'll still rust, but believe me, when we took the line out and we put the new one in, which I can go show you the line, and the line does not look bad at all. And my son, I mean, right there is the only questionable spot. And my dad had, and this part is a part that's underneath This is the rear end of the car. This is the part that drops down to the gas tank. The other end is comes up to the engine towards the fuel pump. But anyways, as he had the ends capped off and he was vacuum testing it, which in theory would definitely show if it had a bad line or not. And maybe, I'm thinking now maybe he didn't have his ends capped off very well. Which I'm beginning to think is what happened, because this line does not look bad to me at all. And we put the new line in, which by the way fits very well. And I still had fuel delivery problems. I've dealt with these cars before, and these screwball pumps are always a problem. And I've had to actually feed fuel into it to get it to get the prime in order to start pushing. And the old pump that was in there, I did just that to it. I fed it some fuel, manually down into it to get it start going, and it would kind of push some pressure, but because I think it ran once for a little while longer than a float bull's amount of fuel, and then it stopped. So I just determined, you know what, the pump's junk. So anyways, this is the earlier, let me see, 75, 76 pump, I think. Is this the earlier or later? Maybe this is the later style pump. But anyways, the other style has the in and outs right here, both on the top, not to the top or bottom. So finding this pump was a little bit harder because apparently they don't produce it anymore. They produce the other one like it that has the nipples both on the top. I just didn't want to redo the lines. I just wanted to be able to bolt it in and go. So I got lucky enough to find one that was basically a aftermarket reproduction, which is basically exactly the same. This one here, I'm gonna guess is probably maybe an Airtex or something. I'm not sure what the manufacturer is, but anyways, when you push on it, I mean, there's no suction, there's no pressure, there's nothing. I mean, it's when the new one, you could actually feel it suck onto your finger or push out on this side if you pushed in on it. So the diaphragm in this is obviously KO'd. It didn't leak. It didn't really do anything. So why? I mean, it's a good possibility. There's probably some valves in there that are stuck or corroded or messed up, got gunk in them. It's a good chance. But anyways, I think this was the problem the whole time. I don't think the fuel line was the problem. I don't think any of that stuff. Fuel tank obviously was junk. The fuel sending unit was junk. But other than that, I think that fuel line over there was just fine. Because around here in this neck of the woods, usually we don't have too much problem with fuel lines. Anyways, got our driving video today, so I'm happy. It wasn't as good as the first one would have been because I was chasing the camera around. Making progress. We will probably button this one up for the winter. I'm going to just leave her go and hit it again next spring. And say goodbye to this one for now. And if I get a chance to have the boy take it for a drive when he gets here, that's what we're going to do. So, she's rough, she's ugly, she's old, she's smelly. And believe me, it's got funky 70s rotten interior smell to it. But, yeah, we'll get on it. We'll make time. We'll make it happen. Alright. Until next time.